conversation where someone said one thing but you just knew they meant something else. Like your brain just filled in the blanks automatically. Well, congrats! You were using Implicature, one of the coolest and sneakiest parts of how we communicate every day. Today, I'll walk you through what Implicature is, how it works, why your brains are so good at it, and the 4 secret rules called Grice Maxims that make conversations make sense. Let's get started! So, here's the deal. Implicature is when someone doesn't say something directly, but you still understand what they're trying to say. For example, you walk into your friend's room and say, "Wow, it smells like pizza in here." You're not just making an observation. What you really mean is, "Hey, did you order a pizza? Is there any left? Can I have some?" And somehow, your friend gets it. That's Implicature. It's like communication with hidden subtitles. Great question. A linguist named Paul Grice tried to answer that, and he came up with something called the cooperative principle. It basically says this: when we talk to each other, we assume the other person is trying to be helpful and make sense. Even if we don't say things 100% clearly, we still understand each other because we're working together to communicate. To explain how this works, Grice gave us 4 rules of conversation, also called the maxims. And when people break these rules on purpose, we get Implicature. Let's go over them with some brand new examples. The first maxim is maxim quantity. Say the right amount. Not too little, not too much. For example, you ask your friend, "Did your trip to Bali go well?" And they respond, "We made it back alive." They could have said, "Yes, it was great," but their answer is short and kind of dramatic. So you start wondering, was it chaotic? Stressful? Did something go wrong? That little comment gives you a whole 5, even though they didn't say much. Maxim 2 is maxim quality. Be honest. Only say things you believe are true. For example, you say, "Do you think Mia enjoyed the concert?" And your friend replies, "Well, she clapped once." Oh, they didn't say no, she hated it. But now you're sure she didn't love it either. That tiny comment gives a totally different meaning. So, even when people technically tell the truth, the way they say it can reveal a lot of more. Maxim 3 is maxim relevance. Stay on topic. Respond in a way that actually connects to the conversation. For example, you ask, "Are you coming to the group meeting tomorrow?" And your friend says, "I've been feeling really overwhelmed lately." They didn't answer with a yes or no, but you can guess the answer. Probably not. Your brain automatically connects the dots. That's Implicature in action, using relevance to figure out what's really being said. Maxim 4 is maxim manner. Be clear and direct. Don't be weird, confusing, or overly complicated. For example, you ask your roommate, "Where's the laundry detergent?" They say, "It's hiding beneath the vessel of endless cleaning rituals." What? After a second, you're like, "You mean under the sink?" Yep, that was a very unclear way of saying something simple. When someone's not being straightforward, you start looking for hidden meanings. That's Implicature kicking in again. So, what triggers Implicature? Simple. When someone breaks one of those maxims on purpose, we assume they're trying to tell us something indirectly. And instead of getting confused, our brains go, wait a minute, what are they really trying to say here? We do this all the time without even noticing it. Alright, implicature comes in two main flavors, conversational and conventional. Let's break them down. The first one is conversational implicature. This happens in real-life conversations and depends on context. There are two subtypes here. The first one is generalized conversational implicature. You can understand the meaning without needing a super specific context. For example, someone says, "Most of the snacks are gone." You automatically assume, okay, so some are still left. Even though they didn't say it directly, the implication is there, and it's easy to understand. The second one is particularized conversational implicature. This type needs context to make sense. For example, you're watching a friend eat a huge slice of cake, and you say, "Wow, that's your second one, huh?" You didn't say they're being greedy, but depending on your tone and the situation, that could be what you're hinting at. If someone overheard you without knowing the full scene, they might miss the implicature entirely. The second implicature is conventional implicature. This one doesn't depend on the situation. It's built into the words themselves. For example, she's confident but humble. The word "but" tells us the speaker thinks there's a contrast, like those two qualities are surprising to see together. Here's another. He cheated, although he said he wouldn't. The word "although" adds some judgment, like the speaker is a bit disappointed or surprised. These little words carry meaning all by themselves. Understanding implicature is like unlocking a hidden level of communication. It helps you read between the lines, pick up on sarcasm or shade, avoid awkward misunderstandings, and communicate more clearly even when you're being subtle. Whether you're texting a crush, replying to a teacher, or joking with friends, implicature is everywhere. So, let's review real quick. Implicature is when people don't say things directly, but we still get the message. 2. Grice's cooperative principle helps us understand how this works. 3. The 4 maxims, quantity, quality, relevance, and manner, are like guidelines for good conversations. 4. And when someone breaks one of these rules on purpose, we search for the hidden meaning, and that's implicature. Pretty cool, right? Thanks for hanging out with me. Now that you know how implicature works, try spotting it in your everyday convos. You'll start hearing the unsaid things people say all the time. Catch you in the next video.